Good evening. Welcome to, okay, that's not far enough or too close. Okay. Anyway, coffee needs some. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good evening and welcome to tonight's Monroe City Council meeting. This is a regular business meeting for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. The time right now is 7:01 p.m. I'm going to ask that Clerk Wyckoff call the roll.
Thank you, Mayor. Council members present and establishing a quorum are Council members Fulcher, Hanford, Walker, Gamble, Fisher, and Scarborough.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Fisher, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. All right, first item on the agenda is public comments, or the next item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have anybody who's signed up to speak this evening? Okay, yeah, I would guess so too, unless we have a ghost back there. Also, please let the record show that Councilmember Beaumont is not here this evening, that she announced at an earlier meeting that she would not be here, so we will consider her absence as excused unless there's objection, which I see none. All right, we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. This is item number 5, consent agenda, and I'm turning to the council. Insert Jeopardy music here. Councilmember Kirk, Councilmember Scarborough. Okay, could I, so that's a move to approve the consent agenda from Councilmember Scarborough, a second from Councilmember Hanford, is that correct? Okay, any discussion on the motion to approve the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? All opposed? All right, motion passes 6-0. All right, next item on the agenda then is Councilmember reports. So I will go ahead and start on this side tonight with Councilmember Gamble. He's good. All right, then we're gonna hop around. Councilmember Fisher.
Did the State of the City Chamber function today. It was great. Great turnout, great speech by our mayor. And I think that is all I have for now.
All right, thank you very much. How about Councilmember Scarborough?
Nothing to report.
All right, thank you. How about Councilmember Hanford?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Thank you. How about Councilmember Fulcher?
I would like to echo Councilmember Fisher. It was a great turnout today at the State of the City, and it was just nice to get that update. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Walker?
Attended the Trails Master Plan meeting. That was awesome. There was free pizza. I thought it was pretty good turnout. There was definitely some great conversations happening. State of the City address was great. The food was really good, and the speaker was pretty good. And then State of the City is great. So no, the speaker was great. Besides that, nothing else to report.
Good works from me.
It's great.
Nobody fell asleep that I saw, so that was good. All right, thank you very much, Councilmember Walker. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move into the staff and department reports then. Item 7.1, Human Services, February-March 2024 report. Good evening. I had to clap twice.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Caitlin and I are here with you again to report on Human Services tonight. It will be very brief compared to our last week's presentation. Council is familiar with most of the items on this report, including the AWC Action Day opportunity that staff was able to go down and advocate for some of our programs in human services, mobile mental health, with Senator Brad Hawkins and speak to Sam Lowe. You also approved several contracts that are included in this report. I think the item of note is has to do with the River's Edge apartment flooding. that occurred on January 15th and was collaboratively responded to by the city of Monroe, Take the Next Step, and Snohomish County. And happy to report that those residents are housed or have a strong plan to be returned to housing either in their former units or in another apartment complex that is owned and monitored by the apartment complex. So if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. I did bring business cards. I know I was able to share some of those last week with you, but I have more. I also have a copy of our community resource guide and some of the information that we were able to share with our downtown businesses, Chief Jolly and our economic development director, and I were able to walk around and share this information about who to call and how to respond to people who might be experiencing behavioral health crises or in need of services in the downtown area. So happy to answer any questions if council has any.
Councilmember Kyle.
Perfect.
Councilmember Fisher.
I love it. Oh, see, it choked me up. The River's Edge property that is managed or owned by the company that manages it. The apartments that they're potentially moving to, is that still within the city limits of Monroe, or is that another community?
No, they have some of their units that they were moving people to were in Linwood, so there were some families that did relocate.
Okay. All right. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. And oh, one other thing, those packets. I noticed that there's a community library located between the church and Take the Next Step.
Yes.
And I didn't wonder if maybe some of those pamphlets might be good in
Oh,
there.
that's a really great idea.
So.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments, or? Go ahead, Councilmember Hanford.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I just wanted to comment on our trip to Olympia with Miss Adams, and it was great to hear. Well, actually, everybody was there. Councilmember Gamble was the only one that wasn't able to join us, and just so you know then, because everybody else was there, Miss Adams did a great job speaking to her area of expertise to Sam Lowe and Mr. Hawkins as well. So just so you're aware. So great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you very much.
All right.
We'll go on to the next report, which will be the Parks report from Director Farrell.
More handouts.
You probably already got those in the mail, though. Okay, thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council members. So the report is in your packet. Couple things, I passed out those brochures that's noted in the report. Really give kudos to Katie Darrow. She continues to evolve that brochure. We have a lot more of like, what are those things called? QR codes. You knew what I was thinking. I did. Thank you. And so anyways, it's just making improvements, so it's just more accessible and just as far as information to the public. So other thing I want to point out is, I know we've talked about, I think in a past meeting, about Egg Hunt. That was a very successful event. And then you can see in the heart of it there, we went through a great process with public input on the Curry View plan. We had an open house meeting at the last park board meeting, and that went really well. We got some great ideas and input, so we're really excited about that. So really, like, moving forward, we have some projects, and it's really all about timing with weather. We need warm and dry weather, so we're poised to do the Blueberry Park playground and get that park done, so then we can schedule a nice ribbon cutting for everybody in the community. So we're looking at something like May, June for that. And then moving along with obviously the tennis court and pickleball and basketball court resurfacing at Lake Ty. And the 2 brand new pickleball courts at Sky River Park. We're looking at work being done June, July. So somewhere in there'll be another opportunity for a nice ribbon cutting for that. That'll be noisy. I hear pickleball. It's a pretty noisy sport. Just kidding. But I know we have a park board member, Ron Petrick, that's an avid pickleball enthusiast. So he might want to just christen the courts. I'm not quite sure. And then next we have Curry View, which is again we've got the design all settled and whatnot, and appreciate approving the purchase of that equipment. So we hope to start that in August, and so then we'll get that finished up before it gets too cold this summer. Last, looking ahead, is that mark your calendars for Friday, April 26th. If you can kind of sneak away after lunch and whatnot at 1 p.m. Is the Arbor Day tree planting. So join Mayor Thomas, park staff, and students from Frylands Elementary School. It's a fun and educational event. And that concludes our report.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for Director Farrell? That's a yes? Okay, good. Councilmember Walker.
Where is the tree planting going to be?
At Lake Ty Park.
Okay, awesome.
And it'll be approximately on the east side of the lake. Yeah, you won't be able to miss it. So just walk to the lake on the Frylands Boulevard side.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're gonna be planting a red oak.
Nice. And then I was just going to relay a comment from the meeting that you had for feedback, community feedback on the Curry View Park. The resident or the Monroe residents that did attend were mentioning the idea that that park is going to be closer to 154th, right? So they were saying with that crossing right there between where the courts are now on 154th and the other side of the road, where that's such an important crossing for the bus after school, traffic calming devices like raised, gosh, what are the names of them? The options that were presented the other day with the rubber speed mounds. Is that what
Speed humps?
Speed humps. Yeah, that was an idea that seemed pretty important in that meeting. So I appreciate seeing that the Parks Department put that fence on there, because I think that was a point of concern. So I just wanted to relay that to the council. I thought that connection was interesting. And other than that, June or July for the resurfacing and the courts being redone. I was just there the other day, and there was a guy who's been out there for years. He goes out for 2 hours every day, and the net was torn. And he was saying, I want new rims and nets, but I know how to use these backboards really well. And I told him he should get on the Parks Board, so he should be applying soon. He's got good feedback on the basketball. Oops.
Okay. Anything else for our Parks Director? No. Comments are good too. All right, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is City Administrator's Report, starting off with the extended agenda.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Good evening, council members. Looking forward to next Tuesday, the 16th. We do have a Finance and Human Resources Committee meeting, and the main topic will be a communications project update. So it'll be from Ben Worthen. For the regular study session, we will have a presentation from Luke Esser and Jim Hedrick, our lobbyists, state lobbyists, on the 2024 legislative session. So they'll be here next week. And then we have a discussion item, which will be the 2044 draft housing chapter from Kate Turtlelow. So continuing on with chapters from the comprehensive plan.
Questions on the extended agenda, Councilmember Gamble? Oh, I saw Councilmember Gamble's flag up. My bad.
Oh, no, all good. I'm going to be remote for both of those. I'm out of town, but I'll be able to join for both the HR and the council meeting. Yeah.
Thank you. Councilmember Hanford?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I will be out of town next week. I will not be able to join.
Okay, thank you. Before we go on to the next part of the extended agenda, anything so far? Anything else? Okay, go ahead.
All right, so for April 23rd, we will have a P3 committee meeting, and we will be talking about Animal Crossing signage. We've been getting requests, particularly from folks who are on Chain Link Road in Ingraham, Ingram, mispronounce that, that's not good, about Animal Crossing signs, particularly this time of year when we've got baby animals of all sorts that are trying to cross back and forth on that road, on those roads. For the council meeting, then later that evening, we have the consent agenda, the regular items, ACH and AP, accounts payable, meeting minutes, payroll, and then interlocal agreement with Snohomish County for housing and behavioral health, police academy training instructor ILA, and then the opioid settlement that we talked about a couple of weeks ago in executive session. Under new business, we've got the resolution to extend the Community Human Services Advisory Board. That board expires on May 31st, so this will be the resolution. I'm asking council to extend that for another 4 years. And then email retention policy with Ms. Wyckoff, and then the regular department reports.
Thank you. Any other questions for items on the extended agenda? Okay, sounds good. Next item is the city administrator's report.
Great, just have a couple of save the dates. Just a reminder for council that we will have a strategic plan and budget discussion on April 30th. That will be a workshop for council, starts at 5:30. It'll be here and we will provide food for that. And then on May 16th, again, just a reminder, that's a Thursday, that there will be, the port will be at the senior center here in Monroe, the Monroe Senior Center, to talk about the expansion of their boundaries. It's a ballot measure scheduled for the August primary. And then I have a kudos that we received from a community member who had a traffic stop with Sergeant Carswell, but just had the greatest things to say about Sergeant Carswell and his ability to give a ticket, and a good reminder to the individual to slow down. They were very grateful for that interaction with Sergeant Carswell. Also a kudos that I didn't include on here, but I thought about as we were passing out materials, which is just kudos to our staff members, our communications team. We have really, I think, upped our game when it comes to the promotional materials, informational materials that we've been putting out. We've really moved away from trying to do things on the copy machine and get them professionally printed, and I think it just makes a big difference how people receive the information. And so just a kudos to Mike and Katie Darrow and that team, but also for Rachel for really working hard with Mojo, our communications consultant, on the other materials that she handed out this evening. That's it for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Councilmember Scarborough?
April 30th is we're having a council workshop. So that's the 5th Tuesday of the month. And that is specifically to talk with the city council about the city's 5-year strategic priorities. So those things that we're kind of long-term strategic initiatives that we're working on, and then the 5-year strategic plan. So it takes those initiatives and actually puts them into a plan that we can then, work on during the 2-year budget process to start to execute. So this is an opportunity. Yes, it'll be here, 5:30. Yep. And what we're looking for then is some input and feedback before the mayor starts to work with staff on the mayor's recommended budget, 25-26 recommended budget.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the city administrator report? All right, mayor's report. Gave the state of the city address today. Had a lot of people show up. In addition to providing an overview of a whole bunch of stuff that we've been involved with, did a little bit more focus on the issues around human services and people who are unhoused in our community, and the connectivity of the different groups that are involved in that effort. That was one of the things that when I was talking to Mike Buse about what it is he thought that the chamber wanted to hear about, that he wanted me to focus on. So Was one of the reasons why that was part of the focus for today. And what was the other thing? I think that was it. I think that's going to be it for today. So anyway, I don't have anything further this evening, and unless there's anything else, we will consider ourselves adjourned. Okay, we're adjourned. Have a great week, everybody.